Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. Playing some Manaless Dredge in Legacy. And this hand is okay. It's not insane, but it's okay. We get to discard Phantasmagorian, and the downside is we only have a Dredge 3 in Shambling Shell, which isn't super exciting. Opponent Gataxian Probes gets to see what's going on in our hand. Inkmoth. Looks like we're up against Infect. Ooh, that was a decent draw. Well, it's past the turn. I'm guessing this might actually be a somewhat hard Game 1 matchup. Windswept Teeth for our opponent. Cracks it. Gets a Tropical Island. Is it Infect creature time, or are they just going with the Inkmoth? It's not impossible that we're just dead here on turn 2. Alright, we're not dead. So let's Phantasmagorian, discard Grave Troll, Dread Return, and Prized Amalgam. I think we got to try to play in such a way that we can actually win quickly, because I don't think we have that much time against this deck. So let's dredge our Grave Troll, any order. We get back Narcomoeba, which gets back double Prized Amalgam. So actually, if we live another turn, there's actually the possibility that we just win next turn. And we can even chump with Narcomoeba. Alright, so let's pass the turn. I feel like our odds of winning just went up significantly. Of course, our opponent could have counters, which we wouldn't have much we could do about. But we have all of our combo pieces for the turn 3 win. Ooh, opponent brainstorms? Oh, we would like to hit a Cabal Therapy off our next dredge. Cabal Therapy for, like, Force of Will. Also, Bridge from Blows would be nice. There's Tropical Island. Noble Hierarch. Opponent's passing. Alright, so we Phantasmagorian. Discard Phantasmagorian and double Nether Shadow. Then Phantasmagorian, discard Phantasmagorian, Grave Troll, and Spy. That looks right. Then we get back our Nether Shadows. Actually stack them properly this time, below 3 other cards. So Nether Shadows come back. We get to dredge our Grave Troll. No Cabal Therapy, unfortunately. And no Bridge from Blows. Well, Nether Shadow on the bottom. Question is, do we try to play... oh, there's a Cabal Therapy. We do have one. Well, now I think we win. I missed that. So we get to flashback Cabal Therapy, sacking a Nether Shadow. Cabal Therapy on Force of Will should win us this game. So Cabal Therapy on Force of Will. Opponent, whoa! 3 Force of Wills. Okay, well, there goes the Force of Wills. Now we got it. So we Dread Return on our Spy, sacking... Actually, do we win here? I don't think we do win. I think we gotta wait one more turn, actually, because we aren't going to have enough creatures. So let's just go to combat. And now that our opponent doesn't have anything in hand, it's much less scary. We don't have any bridges, so we're safe to attack. Yeah, let's just attack. And pass the turn. Next turn's going to have to be our win turn. I wasn't considering, since we don't have a bridge, if we sacked everything, we wouldn't have enough creatures to flash back future copies of Dread Return. So that would actually be very bad. But since we got rid of 3 of our opponent's Force of Wills, I'm feeling like we're actually in pretty good shape now. And we still have Narcomoeba for chumping Inkmoth, and they only have 2 cards. And it's definitely possible that we just dredge into more Cabal Therapies to make triply sure. Alright, opponent goes with Crop Rotation for Pendlehaven. Activates Inkmoth. Well, we are going to fire up this chump block. Actually, does it even matter? I don't think it matters. No, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think it matters either way, honestly. So we're just going to block, not take the damage. End of turn, we get to Phantasmagorian, discard the rest of our hand. We get back our Nether Shadows. Triggers Prized Amalgam. Get back a Nether Shadow. Triggers Prized Amalgam. Dredge our Grave Troll. That was actually not very good. Well, I think we still win here, though, because we just attack with everything. Put our opponent to 1, and then Dread Return, getting back Flayer the Hatebound. for the last points of damage. So not the huge explosive win, but still works. Flare of the Hatebound does the last one. So that went pretty well. Getting rid of triple Force of Will was key. If it wasn't for that, I don't think we could have won that match. This seems like one of the matchups where we actually want to bring in removal. Like Contagion. I don't know if we want Shoal as well. Contagion seems sweet. I also don't know what we cut in these matchups. Combo decks are so hard to sideboard with. Gotta have Dredge creatures or the deck just literally doesn't work. Bridges or combo pieces. Maybe it's stuff like Street Wraith? Just the extra... Actually, Probe might be worse than Street Wraith. Yeah, I think we go down Probes for Contagions. And then can we bring in Sickening Shoals as well? I guess we can go down a Street Wraith for one of them. Now let's go down 2. Let's try it like that. I am not sure if that's the right way to sideboard or not, but seems reasonable at least. Alright. This is fine. Our opponent chooses to play first. We still haven't run into anyone that has made us play first yet. So we will keep. We got Phantasmagorian. Dredgers are not insane, but we can't really complain. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Cracks it. What we do not have is a removal spell, but we can't really mulligan into that. Maybe that's a reason to go up to all 8. Opponent has a Hierarch. And passes the turn. Well, we pass the turn. Discard Phantasmagorian. It's a little disappointing that we only get to Dredge 3. Ooh. Alright, well, there's Bajukabog. Sure. That slows us down by a turn. And there's Blighted Agent. Well, drawing a removal spell would be absurd here. Contagion? Ooh, Bridge. Alright, so we just gotta pass and discard a Shambling Shell. Yeah, this might end up being too slow. We could just be dead. Opponent brainstorms. Opponent crop rotates. They have another Bajukabog. Tropical Island. Brainstorms. Pendelhaven pumps up Bladed Agent. Invigorate. Do they really find the kill? Alright, so we're taking 7 poison, which means we're dead next turn. So I think this actually means we have to not Dredge and hope we draw a Contagion. Well, we get to cycle Street Wraith. And that does it. Alright, well maybe we want all 8 of our removal spells against this deck. Maybe 6 is not quite enough. Let's try it like that. Let's go all removal spells. Get rid of all the extra Dredge spells. Alright, we get to play first. Ooh, alright. Alright. This is what we're going for. We have a Grave Troll to discard, and we actually have 2 different removal spells. So this is exactly what we want against Infect. I think, barring Graveyard Hate, I think this is a winning hand. Alright, so we have to just pass the turn. Oh my goodness. Jeez. That was bad. Apparently I clicked play first by accident. Well, that kind of slows us down by a turn. Oh! Alright, well it worked out because we drew another Contagion as a result. So we discard Grave Troll. Now this is kind of the nuts. I'm not sure if our opponent can beat this hand. There's Blighted Agent. Well, let's Dredge a Grave Troll. Order doesn't matter, so we'll do any order. And then we'll just pass the turn and discard a Grave Troll. Hoping to get in a position where we can get both Inkmoth and Blighted Agent with Contagion. Another land for our opponent. We technically can fire off 3 free removal spells this turn. Contagion, exiling like Shambling Shell. Contagion, exiling Nether Shadow. Sickening Shoal, exiling Icarid. So that's actually a ton of protection for this matchup. Like, way more than I would have imagined. Opponent goes with Crop Rotation. Ooh, this is probably for Bajukabog. This might actually end up getting awkward. Yep. Alright. This does slow us down quite a bit. This is going to be a very awkward match. Opponent plays a Glistener Elf. So I think our plan is take one from Blighted Agent. We need to get a Dredger in the graveyard. So we pass our turn. Discard Shambling Shell. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. And we Contagion. Exiling a Nether Shadow. This is risky because we're not going to be able to discard the hand size for a long time. So we really need to start hitting Dredgers off our Shambling Shells. Opponent goes with Vines of the Vastwood. Alright, so we will Contagion. Okay, exiling an Icarid. And we got rid of him. Whoo! Okay. Come on, Dredger off Shambling Shell. We only get to dredge 3. But we have our opponent's board empty. And we still have a Sickening Shoal. Come on, we need to hit a Dredger here. Alright. Whoo! Alright, we're back to playing Magic. Well, not playing Magic because we're playing Dredge, but we get to do things. We're back to not playing Magic. I think that's what I meant. Until our opponent finds another Bajuka Bog. There's Blighted Agent. Alright, well, let's pass. Dredge our Stinkweed. Order doesn't really matter. And pass the turn. I think we got to be a little greedy with our Sickening Shoal. Things like Daze and Force of Will do get us, though. Opponent gets in with Blighted Agent. Goes with Invigorate. Sickening Shoal? Oh, Daze! Oh, no! Oh. Well, we're never going to get around Daze. So our opponent's to the point where one pump spell kills us. Well, let's Grave Troll. Any order. Oh, man. This is just way slow. We're not hitting anything that comes back from our graveyard. And we're dead to literally any pump spell in our opponent's deck. That's another one of the downsides of being Manaless, is Daze is, geez, Force of Will. It is the hardest of hard counters. Alright, goes to combat. Oh, looks like we faded the pump spell for a turn. Problem is, we just don't have stuff. Alright, any order. We get back Narcomoeba, which gets back a Prized Amalgam. We still can't block. We're still dead to any pump spell. Still don't have a bridge from below. I think we just got to pass. We got to pass and hope to fade death for one more turn, and we might have a shot, especially if we can mill a bridge. Throwing off a Cabal Therapy there doesn't do anything. We could aim like Force of Will, but then we're down a creature. We don't get a token from Bridge. And if our opponent had a pump spell, they would have slammed it last turn. There is no conceivable reason for them not to just play the pump spell. They know what we're doing. I mean, I guess they could be worried about a 4th removal spell. Alright, Surgical Extraction on Flayer. So that means, I take this to mean that our opponent doesn't think they can kill us this turn. And Flayer is our most obvious way to win the game, but it's not impossible with a bit of luck that we could win this coming turn. So our opponent puts us up to 8 Infect. We dredge a Stinkweed Imp. Hit an Narcomoeba. Do not hit a bridge from below. Oh, we have one bridge from below. Can we go for this? We have a Narcomoeba in hand. That means there's one more in our deck. Can we win here? I don't think so. Not without Flayer. Do we just have to wait another turn? Now we're dead to Noble Hierarchs. We're dead to so much next turn. Alright, let's lead on Cabal Therapy, sacking Narcomoeba. We get a token. Name Force of Will. Force of Will and a Daze. Oh. So we can just try to wait and hope our opponent misses. We can Cabal Therapy the Daze. Sack out our board to get back a Spy. That'll mill our entire deck. We'll have not enough creatures, though, to cast a second one. I think we just gotta wait and cross our fingers. Maybe, I mean, a more experienced Dredge player could tell me for sure, but I don't think we can win here. So the problem is I guess this is all irrelevant since we didn't hit a Dread Return anyway. So I don't know why I was getting so excited about it. We obviously can't win here. So we just get in with both. We need our opponent to draw something very bad here. That's it. We need them, no pump spell, no crop rotation, no noble hierarch, basically a land. Opponent goes to combat. Oh, we faded it. Oh man, does this mean we get to win? Phantasmagorian, discard Grave Troll, and Stinkweed Imp. Get back a Phantasmagorian. There's a chance that we get to win now. We get back Icarid, exiling a Shambling Shell. Then we dredge Grave Troll. What do we hit? There's Dread Return. There's a Bridge from Below. I think this can do it. So, first off, Cabal Therapy, sacking Narcomoeba, get a couple zombies. I guess our opponent could have drawn another counter, like another force. So we name days. Tropical Island! Oh my god, we're going to do it. Alright, so now we get to Dread Return on our Spy. Sack Prized Amalgam, Icarid, and a zombie. I think this is going to do it. Order doesn't matter. We get a bunch more zombies. We mill our entire deck. Should have one more Narcomoeba. Yep. And Flamekin Zealot should do it. This should do it. So we get back our Narcomoeba. Triggers our Prized Amalgams. Doesn't really matter. And then we Dread Return. Do we just have one Dread Return left? Yep. Well, we Dread Return our Flamekin Zealot. Sacking tokens and real creatures. Any order. Get a million zombies. They all are going to get haste and +1/+1. Triggers more Prized Amalgams. Go to combat. Swing with the crew. Oh my god. I don't know if we got lucky. I mean, I guess we did. We faded a million draw steps in a row against Infect. Oh, we survived a Bajuka Bog. Wow. Wow, I can't believe we won that match. That was incredibly close. I'm not used to seeing Dredge play games like that. That was a long, tough battle. Usually Dredge, either like some of the games you've seen, they drop a Graveyard Hate spell and we lose, or we win really easily and quickly. This was a battle all the way through.